We are live. Here we go. I might not have hit the volume. Shit.
Prayer bucket. Come on, Travis, sing it. We don't have the volume. You got to come in live right now.
Stay off my rocks. Don't go nowhere near my rocks. I don't care.
My rocks haven't caught anything at all this year.
Off my rocks.
For one tournament. So you can go to my rocks, but if you do, I'm still going to be pissed at you. What's up, guys?
Nice.
There we go.
Crush in the house. What is that? Never seen that before.
Neither have I, man.
That's a good song.
Look at that. That's crazy. It's like some television thing, man. They've broken in finally.
Who's that?
They're here, Travis. It's the moment you've been waiting for. All year long, they finally arrived. Man, so how's the armpit of America treating you, bro? Let's just get right to it.
We're at the Jersey Shore hanging out, and it's not as bad as I thought, but it certainly isn't the top destination of an angler.
But what about for a family vacation?
Yeah. But enough about me.
I'll tell you one quick story about the Jersey Shore. Me and my wife went there. This is pre-little John Paul, right? So we didn't have a kid yet. We're down at the Jersey Shore. It's a one-day trip. We drive down in the morning. That's wrong. We did spend the night in a hotel. We spend the night in the hotel. We're having a good time. You know, there's stuff to do down there. They got the boardwalk and the good food and stuff like that. Now it's time to leave. Well, when you leave, all right, there's that one road you got to go down, and it's slow, real slow. So we're driving, and there's literally these 2 or 3 75, 80-year-old women with walkers. And, like, we're getting stuck in traffic, and they keep passing us. They're walking, you know? And they keep passing us while we're in the car, and then we pass them, and then they pass us. It took us, like, 3.5 hours to get out of there. That was the only part of the trip that sucked. It was actually one of my better beach experiences was down there.
Really?
Nice, man. Did you get any Polish ice? Somebody just said, Bruce Millard said you got to get some Polish ice, Travis.
Never even heard of Polish ice.
Bruce, do you want to expand on that? They want to know if you're in Wildwood.
No,
Travis,
I'm in the...
This good?
Yeah.
This looks good, right?
It does.
I just hit this barber. I'm up in Malone in a Red Roof Inn because I'm working up here. And there was this barber shop called Pop's Barber Shop. And I ain't had a haircut in 8 months. So I said, you know what? I'm going in and get my haircut. So
Looks good, man. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, what you guys missed before the show, actually, was Travis now has to pay for Eric and I to go get our hearing tested because SmallmouthCrush was on here screaming his head off into the microphone. I still don't think I can hear out of my left ear. Travis, I don't know if he's hopped up on sugar or what, but
it
was
seemed
a crazy
like
night.
It was crazy, man.
The Red Roof Inn. So I haven't had a lot of good experiences at the Red Roof Inn. JP.
All right, so this one,
Eric, you ever stay at a Red Roof Inn?
Yeah.
This one's new.
The last tournament.
2014, right? So the first week we come up, we get room 203. Beautiful room, 2 queen-size beds, giant shower, glass door. It was a really nice room, right? So we were like, man, this is great. And there was like the fair was going on. The place was packed. So last week we come up, we get room 219. Room sucked. This week we get 223. It's not that bad. It's got the queen-size beds and everything, but it's got the small-ass shower. So when we were driving up this week, we called and said, hey, you know, we really want to have that room 203. And the lady was like, it ain't happening. It's booked. You know, so.
Dang, man.
I said, don't you know who you're talking to?
Yeah, well, it's JP. He's just coming off a big win. I mean, my God.
JP's the future stud of everywhere. So listen, last week we had a Patreon, I believe, as I was driving home from up north, and we discussed, I don't even remember because my internet sucked. I ate a whole gallon of ice cream on the ride home. And then next week, Joe Lucarelli is going to be joining us, and I'll be up at the
oh, I love Joe Lucarelli. He's amazing. Isn't he like the stud of no, let me think of it. I know this because I study for the show. It's Champlain.
There
right?
you go.
He's a legend on Champlain.
Have
I'm
you
still
ever
fired
caught-
up, man.
Have you ever
Man,
caught a
that's
small
awesome.
on Champlain?
I did with you, and I can't believe you're geezing like that because you took me out for my first trip on Champlain.
The
The first
time we ever
bass I
met.
caught. It's the first bass I caught. No, we met in the Northeast. You don't remember, but anyway, the other armpit of America, as according to you. But anyway, no, man, I caught it on that jetty. I was throwing a boing lure, man. You were cranking,
Yeah.
or snagging. I mean, yeah, they were hitting on top pretty good that day. We didn't catch any bigs, but it was fun, man. They knocked the shit out of that thing. A black boing. You could hear it all the way to the boat on a long cast. Click, click. Anybody know what a boing lure is? Boing.
I do actually, yeah. I've had a couple of those in my day. One of them cracked in half when I smacked on the side of the boat on accident.
My boings made the auction block.
Yeah, yep.
Speaking of auctions, within the next month or two, we're gonna have a doozy of an auction coming up.
Ooh.
Doozy.
A lot of good stuff to get rid of.
I got
not good.
stuff I'd like to try to sell in that auction.
Nice,
Well.
man. I got some great stuff I'll sell. You guys sell the good stuff. I'll sell the great stuff. JP, you got to earn your way into the auction.
Yeah.
You can't keep beating Travis and expect to get into the auction. Sorry. Although we could buy it wholesale, sell it for auction prices, and maybe make a little bit. Maybe.
Probably
so I wanted to have JP on, and we might have Gary on, and we might have Tom on a little bit later, but I'm not sure about their schedules. But I wanted to talk about really some up-and-coming things that are happening here, as well as because we had a Patreon, not everybody was on it last week. And the weekend prior, JP and I fished a tournament. I fished with Will from Gajo Baits. And we caught him pretty good leading up to the event. And then the day of the tournament, I had some pretty bad wind, and it made it a little bit tough for me to stay on those fish. And we came in 4th or 5th or something like that. But do you remember what place, JP? Was it 5th? Might have been 5th.
You were 4th, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
What place?
What's that?
What place was I?
You won the thing. No business being there. You show up to my cabin Friday night.
Friday night, o'clock at night, 0 practice with my buddy. Travis is ragging on my buddy Gino. You ain't got the right equipment. That stuff.
Oh, you should have saw their equipment that night. I'm just out there analyzing everything, and they're asking for my advice. And after a while, I'm like, you guys, it ain't happening for you. This ain't going to happen. You might as well pack your shit. You don't have a live scope. You don't have a 360. You don't even know what you're doing.
All right, so deal. I had some issues with my boat at the last open, and I don't know, Eric, if you've ever felt like this, but I just felt like every time I used that boat after that, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what is next with this thing? And it wasn't the boat. It was just everything electronic on the boat was giving me a hard time. So I pulled the trigger and bought a new boat. And in the process of buying a new boat, I had to de-rig my boat. And then I really didn't want to run my boat the week I was going to be trading it in on the new boat. So I showed up to this tournament with my father's boat. He's got Humminbird electronics, which I have absolutely no use for. And I got my buddy Gino with me. And, you know, my buddy Gino's old school. He doesn't have all the new high-sensitive rods and stuff like that. So Travis was busting our balls pretty good. And the best part was when we won, my buddy Gino, and he goes, "Hey, Travis," he goes, "I got this $65 Bass Pro Shops rod from 1993, spooled up with 12-pound fluorocarbon. I'll just give it to you, bud, because that's what you need to win a tournament," he said to him.
I think that's called respecting the bass gods. And, you know, that's happened to you twice now in the span of a year. Calling 12-pound Tom Knee, 12-pound Tom Knee, and calling him out on he can't catch 12 pounds in a big tournament, and he wins the Bass Cat at the Ike Foundation. Then you're ragging on JP and his buddy, and they turn around and win. Respect the bass gods. I think that's the lesson here.
Well, I definitely respect these guys as an angler, and that's why I was trying to help them out. Gino's spinning rod
It
literally.
didn't sound like that. It sounded like you said, pack your shit up and go home.
Well,
Doesn't sound like a help. It sounds
but
like
if
you're
you knew me, that's my way of trying to be nice in a nice way, encouraging them to maybe.
Time out. It's me trying to be nice in a nice way, or you're trying to be funny in a way.
Yes.
I got you.
Oh, hey, Eric, listen.
I got you.
He gave me a mapping chip so I could make my way from the river to the lake.
That's helpful.
He's very helpful. Travis is very helpful. It's a good relationship that we have with each other. It was just funny because my buddy Gino is definitely old school. He's not a smallmouth fisherman. I brought him up there with me one other time. He went up and practiced with me for that ABA that I came in second in, and he fell in love with the place, and we found that tournament. And I said, Gino, I don't know, man. We ain't even gonna have any practice. We rolled up to Travis's cabin at like 8:30 at night the day before the tournament.
That's crazy.
It's just funny when Gino starts pulling out the archaic rods. They are really from like 1993.
They were very heavy. The wrong action. The drop shot hook was terrible. The line was 20-pound braid. Or no,
20-pound
anti-braid. He just wants to have it all coil out on him as he's casting.
And somehow it worked.
Did he really catch anything, JP?
What's that?
Did he really catch anything?
Oh, yeah. He caught fish all day long.
How many of the fish that you weighed in did he catch?
2.
Okay.
Wow. That's what a coach should do.
Yeah.
Who's that in the background? Your boyfriend?
No, that's my boy Joe that actually has enough cojones between his legs to travel 4.5 hours away from his family to work to get a job done on time. Joe.
Wow.
Nice.
Joe's the man.
So he's helping me out because Joe's real good with the technical support. He's trying to get my computer going so I don't have to stare into the little thing. And I want comments. My favorite part of coming on the show, guys.
Right. Hey, Gino's on.
JP comment.
Gino's on, man.
What's he say?
He said he did help. Thanks, Travis.
Yeah.
You got some props, Travis.
There we go.
Hey, Gino, tune into the auction. You can step up your gear because Travis will say you stuff that's not quite Legend Extreme, but it's, I'm sure it'll be good enough. Right, Travis?
Only the best.
You can pick up some good shit.
The funny part is my buddy Gino, he's all about like tight line and feeling the bite. So he puts, and I don't like this either, but it works for him. He puts these giant counterweights on the butt of the rod and electrical tapes into the rod. So they're gigantic.
Yeah, so you know what that does, though? It makes the rod feel like it's nothing in your hand. Instead of it being tip heavy, it's just like I really find them useful, man. Like if you get a really balanced rod, the tip should not be. Travis, you use great rods, so you don't have a problem with balance. I don't think your rods are tip heavy, but I hate a rod that's tip heavy. When I'm worming, I just want to be able to feel, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, JP, do you want us to switch you over? I see you on the bottom here on your other screen.
Switch me over.
All right. 2 JPs.
There we go.
Nice, man. Look at that.
You got the double dose. All right, let me get the comments up here.
Yeah.
He's echoing. How can we stop the echo?
No echo on my side.
I got to turn the phone. I just got to turn it off on the phone here.
Oh yeah, that will help.
He's on top of it. He didn't even need our help.
No, man, he knew
got
what was
dialed
up.
in.
Man, he knows what's up.
We got a situation.
There we go.
Samadis Bates in the house. What's up, Samadis?
Yo, Joe, no funny stuff in the background, all right?
So you guys share the same bed there? I see it's pretty big, so you got enough room.
No, we got 2 beds.
Okay.
2 queen size beds. This place really isn't that bad. We got murals on the wall.
Right.
The bathroom's a lot nicer than the one at the Oneida event.
Yeah. Well,
JP is a maniac. Thanks, Jamie Newton.
Talked about. JP, you're my new favorite traveling partner. Don't tell Tom or Gary that.
Thanks. No, we have a good time.
Hey, JP, Slumpy Grumpy wants to know what kind of job are you guys on right now? If you could talk about it.
Jeez. Eric, this isn't what you're into, bro. He can talk about it.
Wait a minute, dude. You don't
I'm a union pipe fitter, and we're actually working in a maximum security prison up in Malone, New York.
That's a great
And-
coverage, AP. That is unbelievable, man. Great job.
Yeah, you should see these inmates, dude. These
What's in
inmates,
the pipes? What's in the pipe that you're
Yeah.
bringing in? Right.
These,
we talked about that.
these inmates are the best fishermen going, dude. You should see these guys. So they take string from their bed sheets. No, listen to this,
Yeah.
Eric. They take strings from their bed sheets and they make line out of it, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. And then they take paper and they make an arrow, right? Because we're working in a maximum security, so their rec pen is connected directly to their cell. So for an hour and a half a day, their cell door opens and they can walk onto the back. So they take the arrows and they throw them 60 feet out into the lawn, and they all get their arrows entangled together. And then you watch the strings go to one particular cell, and you watch them pass contraband all day.
That's awesome. That's
They're pretty good
incredible.
fishermen.
That's impressive.
Maybe next derby, give Travis some pointers.
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Speaking of next derby, Eric, you coming up? Help practice?
I'd like to. When is that? Give me the days again. Send them myself.
Just come on up.
Okay.
September 9th to the 11th.
Big tournament right now this week, I guess, going on up there is on the St. Lawrence out of Messina's, the Costa or Phoenix Boats or whatever you call it.
Yeah, the big five or
BTC's
whatever.
fishing that one, man.
As
Is
a
he
co-ed.
really?
Yeah, he's co-angling.
Oh, wow, man. Good for BTC jumping in, man. He was on the meet. I've seen a lot of big pictures coming off the St. Lawrence recently, man. It is
Let's
on
talk
fire.
about that. And I'm not singling BTC out at all. This has nothing to do with him.
Sure.
But I called JP yesterday and probably 3 days prior. Here's my rant. So you get guys that are up there this summer. Some have been up there, and that, dude, I respect what they're doing. This is a threefold conversation. There's three different topics I'm going to talk about. Number one, I got a guy up there that's there before I get there, and he's not off the water until after I leave. And I'm up there for the last week and a half every day. And I don't know how long he's been up there before that, but he must be number 3 in points trying to get an Elite Series berth. And he's got daddy's money, and he's up there fishing hard, dude, all day long. Like sun up till sundown, hardcore, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. If I had the capabilities, I would certainly do that. So there's some dudes putting some mega time in up there on the river, trying to get it dialed in. Second thing that's disturbing, we got a lot of newcomers that are up there bumming around for the summer, thinking because the fishing's so great, they can catch 24 pounds every day, and they want to become a guide up there now. Rubs me the wrong way a little bit. Bro, you got to put your time in. Let's see how you do next year or in a month from now when shit hits the fan up there. It's easy pickings now. Look at JP. Anyone can win a derby up there now. Thirdly, it's a joke. The thing that really gets me is I'm seeing some out-of-staters, some people from the South coming up there, and we've all done this. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. Heck, I even wore my jersey when I did it. But back in the day, we would double fist, triple fist, hold up 5-6 fish, with your buddies in the boat. But I've seen that, and I've seen that from some local people, and I've seen that from New Jersey guys. You got to let those smallmouth go if you're not in a tournament right away. I mean, that is not a good thing. It's not cool in my mind. Again, I've been there. We've all done it. But let's let them guys go right away. Because if you keep them out of the water, even for just 10, 15 minutes in a live well, and if they're out of deep water, you have to fizz them or they will die. And I don't know what you guys think. I'd love to know in the comments. It just kind of bothers me a little bit.
No, that makes sense. I remember hearing Frank Scalish talk about how he won't even go fish on Erie in the summer because he's done it where you can catch them and put them right back down, and they'll go right back down, but then they'll end up dying down there. You'll see them floating back up to the top. So it makes sense. I mean, I don't put anything in the live well unless I have to. I mean, I think that's just a good practice to have in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say most people stay that
And
way,
I
but
think yeah, I came out kind of crudely. If somebody's watching this and they've done it in the last month, they probably hate me for saying it, but maybe they just don't realize, and you don't know what you don't know. Believe me, I put plenty of big smallmouth in my live wells when I shouldn't have. I have. I'm as guilty as everyone, but I stopped.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Jamie Newton's got a good suggestion for you. He says, do a fizzing tutorial. I think that'd be, I mean, I haven't done too much research into it, but that'd be a pretty good YouTube video for you to throw out there. Just a quick little 5-minute.
Really should, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
real simple. I use Barb Elliott's needles. You can look her up on Facebook. She sells them. I think it's like 2 for $8. Sometimes she'll send you instructions with it, color a chart, where to insert the needle, everything. It's definitely a good investment.
Yeah, so Gino and I caught, I don't know, it was like a 562 or something. And 5 minutes later, I look in the live well, and it's floating on its side, right? And I've never fizzed a fish before, but I had Barb's kit, so I get the kit out, right? And it says to wet your net, lay the fish in the wet net, do your cross lines, and fizz it. And I think Travis said like 15 seconds the night before. You got to fizz them for like 15 seconds. So I counted down from 20, right? Fast, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. And I could hear it, right? So I'm like, oh, great, that was easy. So I put it back in the live well, right? This thing floats to the bottom or sinks to the bottom of the live well like a rock and is laying on its side. And I'm like, I go, Gino, I think I killed it. And he goes, what? So he's back there like holding it up and in the aerator and everything. And I'm like, listen, you know, I mean, maybe it's just a hard lesson on how to learn how to fizz a fish. And, you know, I think it's dead. Well, so we go back to fishing. I catch another fish like 15 minutes later. I open the live well up. That fish was fine, dude. It was swimming normal. Swam normal the whole day. So, but I think next time I'd probably do it in the water so I could see the bubbles coming out. Because I did some research, and you can fizz them too long. It's not good to fizz them for too long.
Oh, sure. You do need to do it underwater. So
I didn't know that because
I like to turn the aerators off and everything in the live well, so it's just still water, and then stick them under, let the bubbles, and once the bubbles, you'll see the bubbles go pretty consistent. As you get towards the end, they slow down, and that's when they just kind of take the needle out and see how they adjust. And normally they're pretty good.
Are they like?
There's nothing scary about it. You got to poke that needle all the way in. That's the weirdest thing.
That's so
yeah,
crazy.
so it's so weird. You're stabbing
like,
the fish in the stomach.
Yeah.
That is weird.
So after the tournament, we pull up to the weigh-in, and there was one by the dock that was like floating. It couldn't go down. And Tom Reynolds goes, "Hey, if you got a fizz needle and you want to, just go ahead and fizz that fish for me quick." So while it was in the lake, I stabbed it and I watched the bubbles. And as soon as the bubbles slowed down, I pulled the needle out. Man, that thing swam away quicker than hell. He was gone. He was happy as hell.
He looks like he had to fart.
Right?
Yeah, right. He ate that raw tuna. He ate that raw tuna that Tom Nee brought it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Can you believe Tom bought a ocean boat?
Oh,
what?
Man.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Guy bought like a
36-footer.
Some big
Dang.
ocean thing, dude.
You're gonna lose him to the salt, man. The
I
salt
know,
has
man.
a strong pull, man. Those currents in the salt and
Well,
big
he just
fish.
got sick of catching 12 pounds every time he went out. He wants to go catch
Exactly.
42 pounds of tuna.
He's had it with that team of yours, man.
He's got that Northern Opens money, man. He's out there cashing checks, making plays.
So Gino goes, "You did not talk about the meltdown, bro. What is
Yeah, so the meltdown. So we're
who
fishing,
meltdown?
right?
You or me?
No, me and him had a meltdown that day. So we go to this first spot. We're fishing. We're catching, 13-inch fish. My buddy Gino, he wants to throw them in the live well, right? I turn around, I look at him. I go, dude, what are you doing? We don't need a 13-inch fish in the live well. That's not going to cut it here, So we end up moving to another area, and we start catching some good fish, right? And he's reeling one in, and there's this tank with it. So I cast out over to it. It swims over, grabs my bait. Well, I got to learn. I'm really good about just reeling into them to get them hooked up when I can't see them. but there's just something about watching a fish eat the bait. I shotgun hook set it, my line snapped, and then I think he lost one, and then that was it. I was like, I'm done doing tournaments. This is just ridiculous. I'm so done with this. I can't figure these hummingbirds out. I'm having a hard time seeing what we're doing, and we had a little bit of a meltdown there, but it all ended up working out. So.
From quitting tournaments to winning in a span of 6 hours. Unreal.
And then how am I when I come in? So I'm
miserable.
coming in the weigh-in.
Miserable. He comes in, I go, how'd you do? He goes, 24:37. I go, well, that's good, dude. And he goes, what? A 4-pound average? You kidding me, bro? And then he drives away. So I'm like,
6 fish? Was it 6 fish?
It was 6 fish. Well, 6 times 4 is 24, right? So
I was wondering how the math, because I'm thinking it's 5. I'm going JB. Wait a minute, that doesn't add up.
Oh, right. So Gino and I thought we had about 24 pounds, right? Because I don't weigh my fish. I like the anticipation surprise when you get in. So we brought one of the weigh-in bags from Greenbush Bass, and it's got the mesh bag on the inside. So we pull up to the dock, and we're putting the fish in the bag, right? And 2 of the tournament people are there. And they're like, what do you think you got? And Gino's like, 23, 24 pounds. And the guy's like, are we looking at the same fish? Right. So I'm like, I don't know. I get up on the dock. Gino hands me the bag. I'm carrying the bag over, and I get to the bump station there, and I pull the mesh bag out of the water, and I'm like, whoa, that's way more than 23 pounds. So I dump them in the thing, dude. And I'm like, man, that's quite the limit of fish there. And they're like, 28 pounds, 27.98, just about 28 pounds,
Good.
So it's pretty cool. But they don't even take pictures or anything because everybody's all getting paranoid about the COVID again.
No, it's not that. It's a weird. Listen,
put those fish back in the water.
I got yelled at the weigh-in line for the first time in my life.
What'd you do?
I was about ready to freak out right there.
Ooh.
First of all, I didn't have a weigh-in bag. Okay, I didn't know. She goes, how many tournaments you fish? I'm like, quite a few. It's the first one I've ever had to bring my own bag to.
Bag.
The bag.
With a bago.
So she gives me a plastic bag, but I already have them in the mesh bag that they gave me. I'm like, what am I going to do with this plastic bag right now? I'm at the tank. The scale's 2 feet in front of me. Can I just weigh these fish? Because it sounded like she wanted me to go back to the boat, put them in the bag. So I had to convince her, we're good. Just let me put the fish on the scales right here, which I did. Then she got mad because I didn't have my medallion with me.
Oh yeah, your little boat number.
That was
she runs a tight ship, man. I remember my buddy Tommy Kale. He had the winning bag on Champlain, and he pulled his boat out early because he blew his back out because a thunderstorm rolled through and the waves were rough. And instead of letting him weigh in, she DQ'd him. She DQ'd him, and he had the winning bag.
Oh my God, Travis, are you saying if you don't have your medallion, that's automatic DQ for real?
Yeah.
In most tournaments, or just that tournament?
That one. So then, now I had to take fish back to go release not only mine, but 25 others. So in my plastic bag she gave me, I got like 35 smallmouth in there.
How much does that thing weigh?
That's a
I
lot
dump
of
them in my live well, and I can't even I can't even close the lid. I got smallmouth spewing all over the place. And I'm freaking out now because I know I need to get out of this harbor and get out in the lake and get these fish back in the water.
That's crazy.
It was just an interesting whole deal.
She fixed your wagon. Show up to my tournament without a bag and no medallion.
Another funny thing that happened was Gino and I were fishing this one area, and we catch this fish, right? And Gino goes, "This guy's really not pulling in here, is he?" And I see this boat, right? And it sees us catch the fish, right? Comes off pad. Now it's idling towards us, right? I put the fish in the live well. I stand up, and I'm looking at this boat, right? And I'm like in disbelief. Like the guy's gonna just come rolling right in on me, right? Well, I didn't know it, but it was a guy that I know that was practicing for another tournament, and he goes, and I still didn't know who it was at the time. He goes, "You're not that hard to find." I go, "Who are you? You gonna get any closer to me or what?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Henry." right? And I'm like, oh, all right. I said, yeah. He said, all right, I'm going to leave. I just wanted to say hi or whatever, so it's funny.
Just wanted to say hi.
I wanted to say hi.
I wanted to get close enough to drop a pin.
Yeah, Henry. Now, Henry, not only is that JP spot, that's mine. And if we see you in there,
is Henry on?
He's in the messages right now, I believe.
Henry Fristick.
Remember, Henry, you got to remember, Travis owns from the mouth of the St. Lawrence all the way to Chaumont.
Now, hold up.
Now
Henry,
that Canada's open, though, the big question is I get a lot of phone calls. The viewers want to know, how far from the mouth over into Canada do you own?
Yeah. So listen, Henry kicked my ass last year in the ABA. So mad respect for Henry. I love Henry. I'm not mad at Henry. I'm just saying, bro, this.
Stay off the rock.
I own roughly.
I wasn't fishing the rocks, Eric.
Oh.
I own roughly about 65 miles from the tip of Tibbetts Point out to Prince Edward. So make like a half moon circle around that section. Anyways, I think we got Gary below here. Let's bring Gary on, man. It's been a while. What's up, Gary?
Gary.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, dude?
What's up, Gary?
Are you at a hotel too?
Nope, I'm actually sitting at the kitchen table.
I got you. Nice.
Still soaking in my sorrows after that Madison ass kicking I took last week.
What happened?
I'll tell you what, I don't know. I'm in a two tournament slump. I need to get out of it.
Well, dang.
Oh, yeah. How'd you do at the Wisco Sunday?
I last Sunday, I took 58th out of 100, roughly 100 guys. I weighed in one fish, which is very unlike me.
So as Travis would say, you suck the wiener.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'll tell you what, I had a half a day of practice. I had some history on the lake. I thought I could go there and just run some history, and boy, was I wrong. The lake has really changed a lot in the last couple of years. The Lake Society has killed off all the weed beds.
Oh,
everything
wow.
everything that I used to have that had good weeds on it, that usually had schools of fish on it, was non-existent.
Grass is gone.
Grass is gone, and what is left is dead, slimy, and laying on the bottom.
That hurts.
At least what I could find. Some guys caught them, but
what do you think? What would you have done differently?
I think I would have looked for more rock. Sounds like the guys fishing rocks were able to catch some smallmouth doing that. But other than that, I don't know what I could have done different. I would have spent more time. I would have spent more time practicing.
That was a Madison chain?
It was.
What won it?
It's been years since I've been there. What won it?
A little over 16 pounds. Josh Credizio.
Oh shit!
A good stick. He won it. He only had a day of practice too, but he must have landed on the right spot because he had a good day.
Greenheads or brown?
Look, it was a mixed bag.
Okay.
Is there milfoil?
Madison chain. There is.
I don't know what he was fishing. I haven't talked to him personally, but I know he's a good stick out there. He's a good stick anywhere. He's fished out of the back of the boat a lot in the opens and some other circuits, and he's making that transition to the pro side.
That's Kyle's buddy, right?
That is correct.
I've met him a few times. Yeah, he's a real good angler. I miss the chain, man. I love it. When I used to fish there a little bit, it's such a unique fishery. There's different chains and there's locks, right, to get into some and
canals in between lakes.
It's almost like the Harris chain, Eric. I think of it as the Harris chain.
Yeah, it's similar. Yes.
And you got little canals to get to the next one. And how many lakes? Like, what's the data?
4 lakes total.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Gary, I want to talk about the real situation, though. I want to talk about the stipulation change that happened with the Wisco series as far as the Angler of the Year and who gets awarded the Bass Opens invitation next year and how that all happened.
Okay, well, as you all know, last year I was the Angler of the Year in the Wisco series. I was fortunate enough to land a sponsorship from the Real Shot, which, Travis promotes very strongly, and they're a great company. I can't thank them enough for what they did for me this year. Well, going this year in the Wisco series, things has changed. They're going to a year-end championship. It's going to be somewhere in the south, sometime in the spring, and it's going to be a head-to-head event. And what you're familiar with, Travis, the top 16 guys in the Angler of the Year this year will be invited to that event. We will go down to somewhere in the south. It hasn't been determined yet. And you will fish against one guy every day till you get to the final two, which will be your champion for the year.
Now, can you make that?
Right now, I'm in 16th place.
Nice.
I went from 4th to 16 in one tournament.
Whoa.
So I got a tournament this weekend, which is the last qualifying tournament on Shauna Lake. I am taking it very serious. I've already been out there practicing. I'm fortunate it's only 25 minutes from the house. I was out yesterday, had a real good day. I'm going to get out again next Saturday, and then the tournament is Sunday.
That's cool.
So
that's kind of the head-to-head. I wish there was something like that near us. I think that I would definitely want to take advantage of that.
Now, start at the beginning of the year. I wasn't aware of this head-to-head format that was going to be at the end of the year. I was still under the impression that Real Shot was going to do the Angler of the Year, which there's a guy this year, Adam, I think it's Easel. He's walking away with it. He's having one of them years where he can't do anything wrong. He's won an event. He's got a couple of seconds. He's a very accomplished fisherman in Wisconsin, and he's having a great year. And hats off to him. I was creeping up on him to the last tournament, but after that bad finish in Madison, I have no chance.
Dang. So you got Sean.
I say when we go to St. Clair, I say to 2 weeks when we get to the St. Lawrence River, we have a 4-way head-to-head during practice, $100 a person. At the end of practice, somebody walks away with $400.
That's not fair. That's not fair, guys. there's two of you guys that dominate out there.
Dog.
Two guys.
I don't know.
I don't dominate nothing. I don't dominate.
I don't know, JP. Your last two events out there is a second and a first. I would say that's pretty strong.
Pretty damn good.
Travis, you were right there too. So.
See, that's how a pool shark does it.
I feel like I'm being set up.
Exactly. You are.
You're a Great Lakes guy, Gary. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know. I think I'll be fine.
When are you getting up there?
I'll be up there Friday the 3rd on the water.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Dang.
And hopefully conditions are right. We get out on the lake.
Hopefully it blows 45 for the next 7 days afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, Travis, because you know where you're going already. JP knows where he's going already.
We don't know, man. It's I'll tell you what, Gary, this is how it's been.
Day.
I pull up on the spot, I wreck them one day, I go the next day, and there's 0 fish there. And then I just say, you know what, I'm going to pull in here the next day, and they're there. And if that happens, geez, and you got big waves, and you make a wrong decision on where you're starting, that's going to throw your whole day off.
Yeah. Well, you got enough
gamble up there, right? That's the gamble, right, Travis? I mean, it's kind of like
is.
It's like, to me, I'll give you the
now,
analogy.
It's this. You guys know I'm a lake guy, but the river is finally, and I don't mind saying this, I got confirmed reports that the river's strong right now at weights. There's some potential in the rivers too. So I'm not going to neglect that. Although I feel like if they keep us in the river, I feel like I can go off of past history and try to wing it. If we do get stuck in the river, like I don't think I would fish it just because it's not really my favorite way to fish. Not saying you can't win it from the river, because you certainly can. And the river's starting to come on stronger. And that's how it normally is this time of year. September, that river can be really strong. So there's there's a lot to explore. And one thing I do know, and I've said this I think last week on the Patreon, I know nothing out there, dude. Like it. I started, Gary, looking at new stuff a lot this year, and it really made me realize I know shit about Lake Ontario, and it would take me years to learn it. Like,
dude, it's such a monster body of water. I mean, it's vast, right?
Crazy.
I mean, holy shit, it's crazy.
Now-
how
now
many
it-
square miles of shoreline? How many miles of shoreline on Ontario? Does
You
anybody know the
couldn't
fact?
fish you couldn't fish that in 10 years. You couldn't fish the whole shoreline of that. The
That's
Eastern Basin.
crazy. That's crazy. Somebody Google that. Somebody out there that's watching, Google how many miles of shoreline are there on Lake Ontario, U.S. and Canada combined?
It'd be a lot.
You know, this
take
year.
Take a guess. You guys have all fished the body of water. Let me hear your guesses before somebody posts it up. Quick,
I don't
Travis.
think you're
What do
going
you?
to find the answer.
Well, maybe. Travis.
300.
180,000 miles.
Okay, way more than 300, JP.
I would say somewhere around 4,000.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 5,500.
There you go.
Somebody just said 713 miles. Whoa, JP's the closest.
Yeah, one again, baby.
JP wins again.
That's counting every island and everything too.
Well, okay, not maybe you got us there, but I was talking about the outer.
Well, that's what I was thinking. All the islands.
No. I said shoreline, motherfucker.
Well, listen. Here's another
That's
cool
still
thing.
a lot.
I gotta share some with you guys, and I'll share this with Gary as well because he's part of the team, but not on the air right now. But I had a really good podcast last week. I'm still wrapping up a couple of the SmallmouthCrush podcasts for the end of the season, and a gentleman by the name of Travis Myers from West Virginia was on.
Oh boy,
Eric, I called you right after.
You did, man, twice. He called me twice, and I don't really hear from Travis a lot. So let me tell you something. When he buzzes me twice, one was during the tournament, the second one was the next day. So we talked.
And he's got some really good information, which that'll come out probably in October. Not necessarily about Lake Ontario, but just smallmouth fishing in general, and specifically finesse fishing. I can't wait to share that with everybody out there. And it was so
I
good.
really think that's Patreon worthy, dude.
We probably will do a Patreon with him. I want him to come back this winter and do a show with us as well.
Yeah.
Because it was so insightful of what he shared.
A lot of ground to cover.
Stuff blew my mind. Things I just did not think about really got me fired up that night. So shout out to Travis Meyer, and probably one of the top river guys out there that nobody knows about, period.
Wow. Hey,
Very
everybody just said
flies under the radar, no social media, nothing.
That's crazy to me. But back to Ontario, 712 or so thereabouts includes the islands.
Okay.
Just FYI. But Alex says it's 4 million acres. That's crazy. That's stunning.
Hey, Gary, how's your co-angler doing?
He's doing fine.
What happened?
Have you heard from him?
Yeah. Actually, I talked to him.
How long was the phone conversation?
It was
what
short.
happened?
It was short.
What happened?
It was short, all right.
What happened?
What happened? This guy brings this co-angler. Great guy. Guy's great. This guy doesn't stop. This guy
funny. I love the story.
This guy talks from the minute he gets out of Gary's truck until Gary goes to bed at night.
Yeah, but he is a super
Eric,
nice
this guy is like, he's a great guy. But my nickname for him is the Energizer Co-Angler.
Yeah, he'd give you the shirt off his back if you needed it.
I'm looking forward to getting
he's
him
a really
on.
good guy.
We're gonna have him share some stories hopefully when we're up there, because he's got a few to tell about the pros. He's been around long enough that
he's got a few to tell about the truck ride home. I want to hear his version of the accident. That's what I want to hear.
It's exactly the way I told you.
Oh man.
What?
JP. All right, Gary, what do you got ready for Lake Ontario? You set? You got your tackle organized? You think you're ready?
Yeah, I've been kind of picking away at it, Travis. I still got this Shawano tournament Sunday, and then I got 4 days to pull it all together. I've been studying maps. I've been Google Earthing. Been talking to a few people that've been there before.
Yeah,
I feel I'm about as ready as I can be because obviously, my past history, it seems like if I try to get too much information from other people, it tends not to work, and I tend to get away from what I do and the way I fish. And I think that's part of what's been hurting me lately. So I'm going to get away from it, and I'm just going to do my thing.
Good for you, man.
There's fish everywhere in that body of water that looks like it should hold fish. That's the coolest thing about it. Like,
what body of water? Remind me where we're talking about again for the championship.
No. We're talking about Ontario.
Yeah, we're talking about Ontario right now.
Okay,
St.
got
Lawrence.
it. I thought you were talking about your. I thought you guys were. I'm sorry. Check that for a
Hold
second.
on. Before we go any further, Eric,
comments.
you've been moving around a little bit on your screen. What's that shirt you got on there? Epic
What's
Eric's
this up?
Bass.
Yeah. What do you think of that, man?
And a G. Loomis hat.
You know it, man.
Yeah, that's an awesome rod, man.
No, buddy, my fave. I broke one this weekend, man.
Oh, you must
I did cry. I broke a GLX. It was released in 2004, and I think I got it the second year it was out. It was an 893, and it had a little Senko on it. But I use it for so many things.
I got that
7'5".
same rod.
Do you use it?
It's got the Cinco input.
Yeah. Do you use it?
Rod.
Do you use it?
No.
I'll buy it.
So these rods, these G. Loomis rods,
I use it very seldom.
So they put the technique. They make a picture of the technique because you guys are so clueless. That way you know what rod to pick up or what.
No, I just love the action of it. It had a soft tip and a real solid. I like the extra fast action. What I really liked about it, Travis, was at the time the recoil guides because I've broken some. Anybody out there got that? If Gary won't sell that one to me, man.
That's got the recoil guides, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
For braid.
That's how I throw a plopper on it, man. I've scorched fish. It lets them eat that plopper, but it's got the ass to set it on 50-pound braid. I've caught some, big fish that I've weighed in, man. Many a 5-pounder on a plopper with that rod, man.
What happened?
Travis and I watched Gary and Tom Nee drop about $2,000 in NXR rods. Because there was a big thunderstorm that rolled through on Oneida Lake, whatever they are. They're overpriced.
Hey, just for the record, my wife's listening.
Oh, never mind.
Damn, JP.
Just one of them rods was mine, JP.
Listen, what you see and hear stays. It's like Vegas, right? What you see and hear stays. Any man's making a purchase at a tackle store, it stays at the tackle store. The bass guys, these are the rules of bass fishing. I mean, you're almost DQ'd from the show for doing that, bro. If his wife's watching.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding. But Mrs. Gary, I hope you don't mind.
So Gary, we're gonna try to do a little catch up meeting too here in the next couple days, just to kind of talk. I'll let you guys kind of know my thoughts on the lakes and what we're up against here. I will be up there tomorrow night, hopefully. And I got guide trips all week, and then I come back home just for one day. So I come back on Thursday, and then we have a house rented. My parents are coming up and stuff for a couple of weeks. My sister's coming into town. Yeah, the one I supposedly locked in the closet back in the day. She's coming up, and we're renting a house up on Wesley Island. For a week after the event too, which I'll have a few guide trips. So I'll have a pretty good couple days of just me time up there practicing, but I'll be doing a lot of guiding up there too in the next couple days as well. So hopefully we'll figure things out. Weather's been good. I mean, it really has. There hasn't been too many bad windy days where you couldn't get out. There's been uncomfortable days, but it's been pretty mild this year, which is great.
Well, that's good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, you'll love it.
I want to crush some smallies.
That's right.
I just really haven't got out to do it much this year with the opens, and then
And they're big, man.
Wisco has been mostly greenfish.
They're big.
Hey.
Those Canadian hammers are pulling in 26, 27, 28-pound bags, you know.
Hey, Travis, can I address something real quick? The guy that you mentioned that you're going to have on the show, he's going to talk about a super interesting topic related to scent. I'm not going to reveal what it is because it's going to be a Patreon. That's my recommendation to Travis. It's great content for a Patreon. Whether you choose to do it or not, fine. But anyway, I want to get back to scent. So I fished a tournament this weekend in Carolina. And Travis, I used the max scent you got me. So I had a pretty unique experience with Scooter back in the spring.
Oh,
what's up, little crush?
You want to say hi to everyone real quick?
Yeah.
All right, real quick.
I need my ear muffins.
Okay.
Get them ear muffins on, man.
Here's SmallmouthCrush. Say hi to everybody. You got to say hi. Everybody's watching.
How you doing? Hi.
What's up? What's up? What's up, Cole
Tell them
James?
how big the fish you catch are. How big are the fish you catch?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know either then.
Leave the ear muffins on me. I'm doing the podcast.
Okay, go ahead. There's your mic.
He seems like he's got a
Talk
little
to him.
chocolate. You got a little chocolate. You've been eating some chocolate there, SmallmouthCrush?
Say something.
Wow.
Tell them you got ice cream
Whoa.
on your face.
Yes.
Do you catch any fish lately?
No.
What's the last fish you caught?
Don't know.
What's your favorite bait to use? You gotta tell them something. They want to know what your favorite bait
What's your
is.
favorite bait?
Cinco.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
lizard.
That's one of my favorites
Oh.
too.
You like lizards?
You worked good yesterday.
And Seiko.
All right. What's your favorite rod?
Mine.
Okay. What's your favorite boat?
What's your favorite
You.
color, Sanko?
I don't even know. What's your favorite place to fish? Where do you like to fish?
Over there.
Okay. All right. Well, you go fish. I'm going to keep doing this. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna go. Goodbye, Missy.
All right. There you go.
I'm going to fish.
He's a cutie, man.
You got me a milkshake.
How about
Milkshake and White Claws goes together real well.
Oh, that's gross. Anyway, so I was using Max Scent this weekend, but I used it in the spring, a Max Scent, right? A bunch of different styles. And it was getting a crazy number of bites. I had several fish in the bag for the weigh-in. We cast a check. This tournament, full moon, and Scooter goes, they're going to be spawning on the Sound this weekend. I'm like, what? In August? Spawning? He goes, straight up. They'll move to the bank and they'll go again. And he's been down there 40 years, so I'm believing him. Dude, I was throwing that Max Scent. I swung on air more than I've ever swung on air in a tournament. Literally, feel the bite. I mean, a tick. And believe me, I'm sure there were some crabs involved, some panfish, but I know there were bass fish involved. Bass. And I wondered, do you think those fish moved up on the beds in the Albemarle Sound this past weekend to spawn on the full moon? That was the day of our tournament. Do you guys believe there are guys that say they see spawning fish on the upper bay throughout the year, all the way to October on full moons? True? Not you? Have you ever seen it, Travis?
August is my latest. Early August.
Spawning largemouth in August. Ticonderoga.
That's crazy to me, man. That's wild.
You pull them up and their tails are bleeding.
That's so crazy. Anyway, I felt like they were moving the Senko off their bed.
Could be.
I mean, I've never swung that much air in a tournament down there ever.
I've
never fished
some air in my boat, bro.
Oh, dude, I put the fish in the boat on you, man. You know I do, dude. I give you good content, man. If it wasn't for your fancy editing, they'd see what was really going down. and the lost fucking footage. It's funny. I'll catch like the first three. We did a Nico finesse rig technique. I catch like three. Go, stop using that Nico. You got to throw this down. And then the vid comes out, and all of a sudden he's catching the fucking first fish. I'm going, that's not how it went down. That's bullshit. You motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
I'm on to your shit.
Just like the Oneida tournament, the whole practice. I didn't catch a fish today. I didn't catch a fish. Then the video comes out. He's reeling in fish after fish in practice.
Oh my god!
And then he's right there saying, "I haven't caught a fish all day." He goes,
a legit fish.
Oh, legit fish.
That's funny. Travis, the tangled webs we weave, man. The tangled webs we weave. You guys could have been here for the pre-show. Oh, the tangled webs we weave. That was classic. Your boy was going out of his mind before the show started. Alex and I are deaf in one ear each, man. He was screaming his head off. It was hysterical. This is my podcast. And they just wouldn't give up the ear muffins, man. And just straight up screaming.
Is that true, Travis?
Yes. But
he's funny, man.
It's his podcast. He can do what he wants.
That's right. This is my podcast. I love when he says that, man. I'm like, damn. Boy, he's saying it with authority.
All right, what else we got?
Wild Bill's in the house. Bo Judd. Man. Well, Trav, I mean, you put this together. What you got? What do you want to talk about, man? You got your boys on the team.
Hey, here's something I want to know. I'm looking for a 4-blade Fury prop, 23 pitch, 4-blade Fury. That's what the bro is looking for. So if anybody in the comments or Trav, see if you can get one for me in time for the tournament, and I'll pay you the cash for it or whatever. I need a 23 pitch 4-blade Fury. I got a brand new 23 pitch 3-blade Fury. If anyone out there wants to trade or make a deal or whatever, but I am looking for a 4-blade prop before this tournament. And
I also am looking for a hub kit for a Pro XS with a 24 Fury 4-blade. If anyone has a hub kit.
And once again, I'm looking for a G Loomis 893.
Gary, what are you looking for?
TLX.
Need anything?
I'm looking for a good tournament.
Oh, okay.
I need a good finish. I'm in a slump and I need to get out of it.
James Lopez. James Lopez is looking for a little information on my new boat. So I just want to let everybody know what I bought.
Man.
What'd you get?
All right. So I bought a brand new 2021 Ranger 520L with the Pro XS 4-stroke, Lowrance Electronics, of course, because I am a Lance guy, and I will have Garmin up front for live scope.
That's awesome, man.
And I switched from Talons. I switched from Talons to Power Poles, and
there you go.
I know all you guys are Power Pole fans, but I've been with running Talons since they came out. I really like them. The only thing that I'm seeing so far with the Power Poles that I'm not a fan of is shallow water dock fishing. You're moving the boat fast. You hit the Power Poles down, and you get like this big. It pulls the boat back on you quick, and I almost went in the water a couple times. But
you can slow.
But other
down.
than that, the Power Poles seem to be great.
You could slow it down.
You do have to watch. It's going to take a little bit of time getting used to. My plan too. I wanted to make a video of my boat setup, like I try to do at the end of the year, of things I would change and stuff like that. And as you guys know, both myself and JP have had some Lowrance Ghost issues, minor issues. My issue right now is I cannot pair my remote with the Lowrance Ghost, and they said they would like me to do a full reset in order to see if I could get it to work. And I'm afraid to do a full reset because my power light doesn't come on right now, yet it still works throughout the day. And I'm just worried right now, if I do a full reset, something could happen. And there's not a lot of replacement trolling motors out there that they're just handing them out. So I'm going to try to get through here the next couple weeks with this. But that's the only issue I've had with the Ghost. It's been performing a lot better than, it doesn't shut off in big waves. It's quiet. It does work. It's a nice motor. And it hasn't left me stranded yet. I've been able to fish every day with it.
No,
Scared me a little bit.
It's a great trolling motor. It's super quiet.
But it took you out, JP.
It's super quiet.
The game.
It did, but I got it fixed. What it was something actually went wrong with the heading sensor puck. And that is one thing about the trolling motor that I guess I could say I don't like, and I didn't know this about it, but if it's not getting a reading from the sensor puck, it won't run. So if you go to deploy your trolling motor and your arrow is flashing 3 times, flash, 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 with a pause and then flash, 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 that's because it's not getting a reading from the puck.
Okay.
And if it doesn't get a reading from the puck, then the motor can't work, which I think is kind of weird. Like, why does the GPS antenna have to work in order for the prop to spin?
I will tell you this. I am on my next boat, and I don't want to get into details on everything, but I feel like I'm going to have, for 2022's model boat, at the bow, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with the 360 still, because I love the fact that I can see that structure. It really helps me. I'm going to go with a Garmin live scope, but I'm also going to go with the Lowrance unit as well at the bow. So instead of a Humminbird and 2 Garmins, I'm going with all 3, and I'm going to really test out the forward-facing active target Lowrance versus the Garmin for next season, with still having a Garmin there if I need to change one to forward view constant and one always down. Right now, my plan is to have a Lowrance forward view, Garmin straight down, and then my 360. And I'm real curious because we've talked and we've had them on the show, JP, Wacky Riggers, right? Roy.
Yeah, Roy.
And Roy says
that the active target's where it's at, man.
Roy says the active target's the place to be. And so I'm definitely he says there's not as many dead zones on the screen. Although I'm very good at my live scope and I'm pretty confident with it. I can see his point, and I'm kind of looking forward to being able to judge for myself what's going to be the best, for next year. I am excited to get, if I do go that route, then at the council, I'm going to have my Humminbird and Lowrance instead of a Garmin. And so I'll get, not that Garmin's 2D isn't bad, it's great, but I do miss Lowrance's 2D a little bit too. Gary, you've had LiveScope now for a while. Do you feel like you have it dialed in a little bit better?
I'm finally getting it dialed in, Travis. I'm still, I've been fishing a lot of weedy lakes, so I'm not getting it dialed in, but I played with it enough now where I can see the fish, I can see my bait, I'm comfortable with it, and once I get on to Ontario, I'm really going to spend a lot of time with it and get it dialed in. But yeah, I'm really surprised I waited so long.
Spin to wind goes, are you still running 2 live scopes? Yeah, so I'm running 1 straight down, 1 forward, and I have 1 on the pole. So I actually use 3 quite a bit during the day. And the only reason why I have the 1 on the pole is because when I'm on anchor lock, I can't really use the forward facing. And I found that having 1 on a handheld pole really allows me to dial things in, especially when you're not searching for fish, when you're around a bunch of fish. You can really just tweak it, know that fish is out there, even in big waves. That pole is down far enough in the water that even though that boat's coming out, I'm still getting a reading nonstop in those big waves. And my Ghost really does hold well. And I don't know if JPU experienced this or not, but it holds well in big waves too.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, the Ghost trolling motor is definitely the best trolling motor on the market right now. The best.
I am not getting any interference. I don't know why. I mean, I'm rigged up properly. I use C-Clear for my wiring. I don't have interference with all these different graphs going on at the same time. There's 0 interference. My 360 is a beautiful. Gary, do you see any interference with your 2 units?
Not at all.
You're running 360 and live scope, yeah.
Yep. And I'm with you. I got to have that 360 running. It just helps me see the structure around me.
Yeah.
Now I know where to turn. Excuse me. Now I know where to turn my live scope.
I'd like to say that the 360 my father's was the ticket when I came up to the St. Lawrence last weekend, but the fact is it wasn't even hooked up. I mounted it to the boat the week he bought it back in January, and I literally still haven't hooked it up to the graph because I need some Y cable or something that I can't get my hands on.
Right.
Yeah, that Y cable is hard to get your hands on.
Hey, with the second place and the first place finish, don't fucking hook it up, dude. Just keep
so Travis goes So Travis asked about the ghost.
Well, I don't understand. Don't do it.
Travis asked about the ghost. Does it back up when you spot lock? Mine seems to back up about 6 feet. So my Garmin definitely backed up 10 feet at times. The Lowrance, as of the last month, started to back up a little bit more than where I wanted it when I hit spot lock. And I think that might be just a new recalibration. One thing I did do on my last trip to Ontario, and I forced myself to do it because I knew I was slightly off. I got real shallow and jumped in the water and made sure my 360 was dead true to straight because it was slightly off. And I remember days prior to that fishing and seeing the rocks on my live scope, but not lining up with the 360. And so it's kind of, I knew how off it was, but I feel good. And not only did I take the time to line it up, retighten everything down, I got my live scopes perfectly dead set as well. And I think the best way to do that is get yourself some clear water, shallow water. I mean, you're still up to your waist because you don't want to bottom out on your trolling motor, but I jump in and just make sure everything is perfect on that unit. And I think I'm good to go now. And you got to watch it because, you know, big waves, stuff like that, things are going to bounce around and move a little bit, which reminds me, JP, I might need your mechanical skills for one of these nights while we're up there. To remember that boat we had to tighten down? That backed out, and I speared a couple waves the other day, and it's shifting things around a little bit on my triple mount up front. So we got to try to figure out how to get that thing tightened down because I got a feeling we're going to be running some big waves here in the next couple of weeks.
No problem. I found that with my new boat, like in the Phoenix I was running, I had the Lowrance puck on the deck in the far right corner. So when I would press spot lock, the trolling motor would always back up and to the right, like it was trying to get right where the puck is. You know what I'm saying? Now the Ranger that I just bought, it came fully rigged already, and they have the puck out at the tip of the boat.
Yeah.
And when I was out this weekend, I pressed the spot lock button, and the boat did not back up, not even an inch. It stayed right there. It didn't have any of that back flush, but I have experienced the back flush. I think what it's doing is trying to get exactly where your antenna is. So if your trolling motor is here and your puck is over here, the boat is going to swing to where the puck is, where that signal was. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Sure.
Now you have a 20-foot Ranger, right?
520, yeah. I guess it's 20'6" or something.
So you're going to take on a little bit of wave action when you're rolling into the wind with the waves.
We're going to see. I know one thing.
You're going to spear
I love
some
my
waves,
Phoenix.
Brodus.
Why did you? Whoa! I gotta ask you to stop the music right now, man. Enough about electronics. Why did you shift from Phoenix to Ranger?
Availability.
That's it.
So
you needed
what I was told was
your Lowrance stopped working, and your next best thing was I'll just buy a $70,000 boat. I won't get my trolling motor replaced. Screw that. Doesn't make any sense.
He was
kind of flush with tournament winnings, Travis. I mean, you know, when you win the big one day, you'll know how it feels.
I already explained to you. It was the whole what's next thing in the back of my mind. My jack plate bolts are breaking. You know, my trolling motor shit the bed. I got all this money wrapped up in these tournaments, and I just can't have that what next feeling. And I called around looking for a Phoenix, and multiple dealerships I talked to both told me that Phoenix can build 1,300 boats a year, and they've already got 1,200 boats in the production line. So you're not going to get one in time. I'm not even going to get one for the beginning of next season, right? So big shout out to my buddy Henry down at Thayer's. He does. He's on the pro staff for Thayer's Marine. And they worked out a deal that I just really couldn't pass up, to be honest with you. It was a great deal. They gave me top dollar for my trade, man, like serious money for my trade. And they dropped the price of the boat down, and I basically got into a new boat with the same payment. So it was a no-brainer. It's a beautiful boat. By the way, for anybody wondering,
so what
this
you're
boat
saying
that
is
I bought,
you're sitting on your tournament winnings. That pile of cash is still in the bank. I mean, you can't beat that deal.
No.
That's awesome.
The only thing I had to do was they didn't put the tax into the loan, so I had to pay out of pocket for the tax, the sales tax in New York, because I bought it out of state. I bought it in Connecticut. But for anybody knowing, the boat has no flake. There is not one stitch of glitter in this Ranger.
I've never seen a Ranger.
This baby is carbon gray and black. It looks like your shirt.
It's
the
a
color
ghost
of your
boat.
shirt, Eric.
So
we're not going to be able to see you out there.
So
You're
basically,
the ghost.
nobody wanted that nasty looking colored boat. Because
let me tell you something, Travis. Let me tell you something, Travis. When a smallmouth bass is looking up out of that Clearwater Lake, Ontario, up into the sky, what color does it see? It sees gray.
That's right.
And what color don't you see when you're looking across trying to find JP? You ain't seeing him. He's got the ghost ship, baby. Now you guys better be worried. You might as well call him the Edmund Fitzgerald because he ain't coming to the surface. Man. That's like a submarine, man.
If anybody is looking for a beautiful, well-maintained, used Phoenix bass boat, check it out down there at Thayer's Marine. He's got it up there. I'm sure he'll work a deal out with you. The guy's name's Richie. He really did seem to work. He was very easy to work with. It was the best boat sale I ever did. I did the whole thing over the phone, and I was in and out of his store in 30 minutes.
All right, JP, you said something about the bolts coming out of your fucking jack plate. Can you clear it up for the people that you're trying to sell this boat to and just tell them they fixed it and clean the shit up? I mean, goddamn, you sold the boat. You got a new fucking boat because you said you couldn't worry about what's next. It sounds like you fucking put a curse on the boat and now you try to fucking sell it 5 minutes later. Have you lost your fucking mind? JP, I don't want to call you out because I love you, but my God, man, what the fuck? I ain't buying that motherfucker. Don't buy it, anybody. There's 250 people watching. No, I'm just saying. What the fuck, JP? I hear fucking bolts coming out of the jack plate. I ain't buying that motherfucker. No way. Unless you told me they put some Gorilla Glue in that bitch, I'm all right then.
All right.
They use flex tape. That was a good rant, Eric. I like that.
Okay, I'm just checking on you, man, because I think that's what I heard you just say, but then I'm going, he's trying to sell the boat? What the fuck? You already sold that goddamn boat. You don't got to sell it twice. Them motherfuckers bought it. You're out.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to spit out my coffee. I'm laughing at you guys, laughing at me.
Tim in the comments said he's going to go buy a Skeeter. Gary loves his Skeeter, man.
I do love my Skeeters.
I got a gently used Skeeter that's never seen a wave on the Great Lake. Buy my shit first. I'll tell you that much. Motherfucker's got 38 hours on it or something. I'm hard on my boats, guys. You ain't getting me out them 6 fucking footers. No way, man. Travis, I need a calm fucking slick when I come up to the Great Lakes with you, man.
I hear you.
I want nothing to do with that bone-crushing, back-breaking body of water.
Yeah.
That is a soul crusher out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, man. Travis, I think I heard you say a minute ago you got 3 units, 3 fucking live scopes, and Travis goes, when the boat's out of the water and I'm using the puck on the stick, I'd be fucking in the drink, bitch. Yeah, well, and let me ask you a question. When I fall the fuck out, can you find me with one of them 3 fucking units? That's all I need to know, or I ain't coming.
You're scared, dude. You're scared of that.
No, I'm wise, motherfucker. There's a difference between fear and wisdom. I'm wise. I ain't beating my body up for a greenback fish. Hell no. For fun? Come on, man. To make a YouTube video? Hell no. I'm gonna stay right in the harbor and fish for them punks. Come in 78th and go to fuck home. Right. I'm good. I tell my boater, you're going out there, drop me off at the fucking dock or I'd hit him as hard as I could.
Oh, geez.
And knock that motherfucker out, even if he had a motorcycle helmet on.
My father wants to go to Lake Ontario so bad, and he sees how good I've been doing out there. And he's like, he's got broken ribs, 3 slip discs in his neck, a horrible back. He's shot, right? He goes, I'm going to buy rib wraps, and I'm coming out. I don't care how big the waves are. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, do not come.
This is your dad.
I said, I love you, Dad. Yeah, I'm like, Dad, I love you to death.
Your dad is he's
not the
harder
place
than a
for
fucking,
you.
He's harder than a coffin fucking nail if he's thinking about going out there, man. God damn. He's a stud, man. They don't make him like that anymore, man.
I'll tell you what, real quick flashback to that last tournament JP and I were fishing. I fished with Will, and the first area we were fishing, we ended up struggling a little bit. And so I made it a longer run further away. At 1:30, we decided to start heading back. And, we made it quite a ways. I had to make one quick stop on my rocks, which yielded 0 fish. And it really only took about 8 minutes to check. But I had to be in at 3:15, and I got to the dock at 3:12. And that was the hardest I ever pressed it coming back in the tournament. And that's something to consider, guys, in this open, is you do not want to go through what Will and I went through to try to get back. It was to the point where, because I thought we had such a shitty day, I was going to even just within a half hour into it, I was going to tell Will, I'm like, dude, this ain't worth getting beat up. Let's just call it a day here. We're not making it back in time.
That's saying something, man. For you,
something in my head pushed us, and it was okay. But wasn't that river, JP, from the mouth to Clayton one of the worst you've ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, me and Gino gave ourselves an hour and 20 minutes to get back from the area I was fishing in, and we made it back with 10 minutes, and I had to stop 4 times to fill the live wells, and it was not good. The mouth of the river absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
That
for
body
about
of water, bass boats aren't made for that body of water, man. You know it's true. And people's bodies aren't made for that body of water. Man, you ain't holding on to the steering wheel. I'd love for somebody to give Travis a ball busting ride out into the middle of that lake, sitting in the fucking co-angler seat with rods next to him, and see how you do. I already could take it.
I told you, Eric,
could take it.
The first time I went out there with
I know he couldn't take it.
I go, do I need my rain gear? No, you don't need any rain gear. This boat's dry. I'm like, all right. So we're driving out, right?
In his Legend?
And I mean, this was in the Nitro. And we get out there, and I am soaked, right? And I go, Travis, I asked you if I should put my rain gear on. He goes, well, I'm not wet. I go, yeah, because every time you went into a wave, you turned the boat so I would get soaked. He goes, you're not that wet, bro. So I take my shirt off, and I wring it out all over his boat, and there's water pouring out of the shirt. I was soaked.
That reminds me of the first time I was in a boat with Travis. Yeah, back when you had your Triton, you were in the Elite Series. And you came up to Green Bay, and I took you out to the secret spot there. And, it wasn't a rough ride, but it was, the rollers were there, and the wind was blowing. So every time the wave would go out, the wind would blow it back on my face. Well, this happened to be. Seemed like I was on the wet side both ways. But yeah, I got a wet ass on that ride.
Yeah, it's funny. He's wearing the Stormer neoprene. I'm wearing the thin fucking Gore-Tex from Sims, the Challenger suit. It's about 40 degrees and raining with 15-mile-an-hour winds. We're on Ontario, and I'm taking it straight on, man. And he's like, you're a grown man. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. And meanwhile, he has nothing on him. He's got the Elfin Stormer suit on, man. He looks like, yeah. Travis, everybody has that same experience, man. Somehow you manage not to get a wave, even with your Stormer.
I'll tell you what, the driver's seat is typically the driest spot on the bass boat.
Yeah, for the reasons we just said, you tack into the wind so you don't get wet.
No, I tack in so I have a smooth landing. So everything, so you hit the waves.
No, so you have a smooth landing. The motherfucking co-angler's going, I'm going, huh, huh, and the wind's going, boom, and then my ribs are going, oh, huh. The air is blowing out of me, man. Yeah, Yeah, you're having a soft landing. You ain't sitting in the passenger seat. Ah, man, you know, in another life, you're coming back as a fucking co-angler. And I'm telling you, it's going to be hell to pay.
It ain't nothing like pissing blood for 3 days after a tournament, you know.
Dude, wait till you get to that astral plane. They're sending you back down here to be a co-angler.
Oh my gosh.
For life. You ain't never getting the bass boat, man.
All right, listen, this was a great show tonight. A lot of laughs, a lot of good times. I know, JP, you got to go work at that prison tomorrow, get them pipes right. Gary, you got a tournament to get ready for.
Travis, that just didn't sound right.
Right. The truth. I don't know, man.
Just the way you framed it, I think you got it all right.
Eric, I lay a lot of pipe.
Oh, all right. People loved it in the comments. Next week, guys, Joe Lucarelli will hopefully be joining us.
Joe Lucarelli, that guy is a stud on Champlain. If you haven't heard, Gary,
and he's
amazing.
I don't know.
And he was on the SmallmouthCrush podcast.
Unbelievable.
He's fishing the opens. And then we have, I think we're taking the week of the opens, we're going to take off. So that would be September 6th, I believe. And then we'll be coming back strong after that with some more structure. I know Epic Eric and I have a lot to do between now and then with some stuff. Legendary Lakes, trying to get some things going. We'll get closer.
How's that budget coming along? You've been working the spreadsheets?
You
ain't got a fucking thing.
You don't know what I do up here.
Raise your hand and tell me the truth, man. Swear to God right now.
I don't see no hand.
Tell me you took it one step further than when you hung up that phone. Yeah, I know you didn't. That's all right. You've been busy.
But you should know what I've been doing.
Jersey Shore vacation?
No. Dude, I've been up in this crib super gluing stuff to my baits, bro.
Oh, that's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
You're gonna have to fill us in on that one, Travis.
Oh, I will.
Oh yeah.
I will right after this. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I know a lot of you guys do subscribe to the channel. Please do so. Let's bring Alex back in real quick. We forgot about Alex in the background lurking around.
Hey, who's new tonight?
Yeah, who's new in the comments?
Is there anybody new tonight that's come on?
Gino was pretty new. It was nice to have him on. The Don, I haven't seen him before. There's a couple of ones I noticed earlier. Be scrolling up there pretty far to find it. But yeah, it was a pretty good turnout tonight.
Let me know in the comments below. I'm probably going to be taking a pre-order for River Rat t-shirts and hats, Bass Lab hats, Bass Lab. And for you guys that don't know, the Bass Lab's going to be, I'm going to put it like on the side, but it won't be that big, but it'll be like on the side like this G Loomis. I'm all about the side logos these days, but yeah, River Rat t-shirts, boom. And you guys can find these. Alex, would you put that? Oh my God, Alex is on the money, man.
You know
it.
AI lurker.
Hey, I might have a contest. You guys DM me directly. I'm looking for my next sticker. So I got the River Rat, I got the Rise and Glide, I got the Bass Lab, I got Legendary Lakes up there, I got Dr. Krankenstein, and so I'm looking for my next one. And I try to center these stickers around the guy that I'm working with, the artist. He's awesome. And I've got a few ideas. I won't say what they are, but if you guys have something you'd like to see go live on the Bass Lab, I might do a giveaway for the next
it'd be really
best
cool
idea.
If maybe you could talk to your guy, Eric, to come up with a cool little design for SmallmouthCrush. I'm just saying, help a brother out type of thing, maybe, and over the winter.
You got a logo, bro. You can't change your brand now. It's too late.
But just a different design for a shirt or a hat.
Man, he's so flat out busy, man. I'm having a hard time.
I just didn't know if you could help a guy out.
No, he doesn't do this full time. This is like his side gig.
So he might get no. So JP says computer took a dump, but he's in the comments here. Yeah. Thanks for trying to get me set up with a new sticker. We'll talk later.
Who are you talking to right now? Alex?
Whoever's listening. All right, guys. We'll see you next week, Monday, 8 o'clock p.m.
Thanks for having me on, Travis. I'm signing off.
Gary.
Gary, good to catch up, man.
Soon.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
Oh, Gary jumped off already. I was